Good morning. Morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. I am Scott. I'll be your host for the next couple of minutes. Glad to have you here as we get the slides ready, get everything going. Let's first take a brief moment, as opposed to a long moment. We'll take a brief moment and get centered. Take a deep breath. Get ourselves centered. Set your intention for how you would like today's service to go. And now we know it will go that way. All right. First of all, let's throw up on the slide. That sounded terrible. Let's put up on the slide or on the screen our welcoming expression, which we will have for about another 3 weeks. So together we will all say, we are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us. Turn to somebody else and say, I honor the path that brought you here this morning. And welcome to our guests and visitors. Nice to have you here. We always welcome people to show up. Let's take a look at our schedule for the week. Let's see here. There we go. We are a welcoming, this one. The announcements, here is what's coming up for the week. It's pretty much our usual fare as we move into December. I believe over next week, however, Angelica is not going to Ukiah, correct? Okay, so there will all the services will be here in the center, Zoomers and Ukiah folks. Sorry you won't get to see Angelica. And welcome to the service, Zoomers. Let's see here. First of all, I've got a couple extra announcements I want to throw in. We still have a couple of the Living Out Loud 2023 spiritual journals that people asked for and have not picked up. So if you have not or have not paid me for it, please see me. Claudia, wherever you be, there she is, I would like to come up and make an announcement. Aren't you going to do your walking music? All you need is love. Harold likes that.
Oh, I thought I could talk through my forehead. It'd be all right.
You want me to lift you up?
Hi. For any of you who weren't there last week and don't know, my house burned down. And so we have found a place to rent. Yay. And we're still in the motel down here by McDonald's on Broadway for now, but we're hoping to move out by, say, Thursday or so. I have to leave early today to get the key. So that's why I wanted to say something now. If you have anything that you want to pass on to me or say something to, would you tell Donna? You know Donna? Because she's going to be at the old house with me this afternoon, so that's all. I wanted to say so much thank you for those who have and will help. Appreciate it.
They need a moving crew at one point.
Yes, we're going to need a moving crew.
If somebody asks a question.
Yes. Would I like your dryer and washer? Yes.
Okay. Also, please help yourself to Christmas decorations.
Oh, thank you. I didn't plan on decorating, but I guess I can now. Yes.
So, I have linens and other household stuff for you.
Yes.
But, I figured it's too soon to give them to you because you're in a motel and wait until after you move in.
We're going to be out of the motel on Thursday, I hope.
Okay, so after Thursday, hopefully.
Well, this week we're going to try to get beds in as much as we can. So, linens in particular and bedding.
Right away.
We're pretty much ready for because we need someplace to sleep when we get there.
Okay.
I don't know yet. I think one of them is a queen, right? Well,
Talk to Donna. That's what that means.
talk to Donna. She knows about the beds too.
She knows everything.
What'd you say?
Do
dryer, do you gas or electric?
Electric. Do you have an electric?
Gas dryer.
I need an electric dryer and
It might be.
All of it is coming at the perfect time.
the right things will be here.
Yeah.
I have no idea how we're gonna get everything moved in, but I'm just being calm and calling Donna from time to time to calm me down.
Good job, Donna.
Thank you, Donna.
Bev, you want to come up, please? No, shouldn't have done that yet.
Thank you. All right, Bridge House, next on the agenda. Everything is going well. Oh, I want to start by a real quick little thing. If I ever look stressed over this holiday season, just look at me and say, Bev, you found your driver's license. It was wonderful. Okay, so Bridge House is going really smooth. The whole season is going to go smooth after that, right? Please choose a tag off the tree. If you do not or can't get out to buy a gift, if you could consider giving a little something towards our Bridge House for Christmas, that would be great. You can do it by including something in your envelope or in the whatever donation you make, and just write BH or Bridge House on it, or kids, Christmas. And we'll go out and take the tags that are left over and purchase what needs to be purchased, okay? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, Bridge House is part of the PACT. It's actually RCAA, and is part of the PACT program, which is Parents and Children in Transition, where they're brought from the streets to a home. The parents are re-educated or helped to make enabling them to find jobs. They find them homes eventually and stick with them for like up to a year and a half at sometimes to make sure that they're managing all their monies and going to be able to stay off the streets. So it's really a good program. We've been sponsoring the children for Christmas and backpacks, back to school backpacks throughout the year. So this is a wonderful thing. They do not qualify for Salvation Army since they're in a program like this. So what we give them for Christmas is pretty much their Christmas. We have a mom and 5 children, and we have a single dad with a 12-month-old little girl. So there are tags, like I said, on the tree in the hallway. And make sure you come and see me with your tag if you choose one. I need to know. Lori?
How many years have we been doing this now?
I have no idea. It's like, oh, no, probably 10 or 12. Probably 10 or 12. It's up there. Yeah. Okay, I'm Bev, and I'll be in the, I'll be around here afterwards if you want to see me with the tag. Okay? Thank you.
Alrighty, let's move forward. The holiday gift, or the holiday decoration exchange took place yesterday. You can see the remnants of it. It was amazing. I want to make sure to thank the loyal, dedicated crew who apparently does not have a life and was willing to put so many hours in. So I've got them written down because I didn't want to forget anybody, but Lori and Carol and James, who I actually have twice written down. So James, you're especially important. All you need is love. You had to be there for that. Catherine, wherever you are, who stayed to the very end, as did a few other people. Thank you so much. Burl, thank you. Nancy, who was there with us. Susan, who brought a whole bunch of Pamela stuff here. Walk in awe wherever you are. Please, thank you. Louise and even Donna and Brian showed up at the last minute and helped us, even though they weren't scheduled. When we opened the door, what you see in that room right now is maybe 20% of what we had. I am not exaggerating. We had about 6 or 8 more tables up. We had a table in the foyer. Everything was covered. There was not a square inch. We had stuff hanging on the walls. We have a video, and we'll have some photographs that'll go on Facebook. You could not move in there. There were boxes underneath that still needed to be unpacked. People all day Friday were bringing things because the news story apparently reached a lot of people. And when we opened on Saturday, yesterday at noon, it was like Black Friday. There was a line of people. I was seriously wondering, what are the occupancy limits for this place? Because people were just coming in, and like the Grinch, my heart grew 3 sizes yesterday. It is one of the most wonderful feelings. Virtually every single person who showed up was, thank you for doing this. This is so wonderful. You help the community. This is such a great idea. Please do it again. Can we bring some next week? No. But we really, really made a difference for a lot of people in this community who did not have anything, and one person who will now have lots of things. All you need is love. We had lessons about judgment calls. Yes, Claudia, you had a question.
Let's give a hand to Scott and whoever else did the TV card.
Well, I think... Oh, for me? Oh, thank you. So what's going on now is, please, after the service, go through. There's still a lot of good things in there, with the exception of the tall, skinny tree, which is now going to be part of the sanctuary. Help yourself to whatever you like. Help yourself to more than you would like. Help yourself to what other people might like. Take as much as you want. There is no cost. This is just a way of decorating your house or whatever. Decorate other people's houses. And then we will leave it up for this week, or at least several days, so our renters, the 12-step program, can come in and they can take what they want. And then sometime later this week, or maybe next Sunday, we'll see how it goes, we'll pack up what's left into one small shoebox, and we will take it away. But we will do it again next year. It is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful event. I haven't felt so good in a long, long, long time. And thank you again to everybody who contributed. Oh, yes, and we raised $170 that we weren't even asking for. So people donated money to it, so thank you. Okay, let's move forward before this becomes announcements with a sermon afterwards. Louise has show and tell art with, got them in the wrong order here. We have got...
It's important, let me just go for it.
Sure.
Because Kathy's only going to be here 2 days, 2 times this month.
Oh.
So that's why these dates are up here. So if you're in the yoga class, it's those dates, and then she'll be back in January.
Okay. Next up is, I skipped, I see, I'm got it all out of order here. Art with Louise. Louise, wherever you are, probably home. She was exhausted yesterday.
She wants us to bring, those of us who have participated in the course, the classes over the year, bring the things you've made, or either in the class or outside of the class, and show them off. It's show and tell.
Wonderful.
And then we're going to talk about what other classes we want to take.
For special services coming up this week, for this month, we have got a Christmas Eve service, which will be on December 24th, ironically enough. There will not be a Christmas Day service. If you get our newsletter, you would see that in the newsletter. If you don't get our newsletter, please let Reverend Angelica know your email address so you can get added to it, where she announces all sorts of events and events that aren't happening. There will be a Christmas brunch. Is there a slide for our Christmas brunch?
Yes. And let me say something about the Christmas Eve one. I had originally put in the newsletter that it was 7 o'clock, and I heard a bunch of complaints. So I changed it to 6 o'clock. Plus the fact that I told the people, okay, we'll do it at 6:30, but then I found that graphic that already had 6 o'clock on it. I thought, okay.
The universe works through clip art sometimes. We were joking yesterday with some of the stuff we had at the exchange that the universe is incredibly creative, but sometimes it might want to take a slightly different direction with some of the things we see. Global Peace Meditation will probably be, I presume, on New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. December 31st at 4 to 5 in the morning. My version of Global Peace at 4 to 5 in the morning is a little different, but that's for me. Our bookstore, again, there is a bookstore right now. It's kind of pushed off to the side, but if there are books that you want, remember it's 25, no it's not, it's just bookstore specials. Okay, let's end all this with a little pantry. A reminder that our little pantry needs to be fed, because that is another way we support the community. And speaking of which, our theme for December, prompted by a request from Angelica, looks like our sanctuary. So it is community. And I accidentally, when I first made this, gave Angelica gray hair. I heard no limit to the end of that. But this is the community, and actually I didn't even notice I was doing it, some of the themes that we'll be seeing this month when I made this little slide. Now let's pass it over to Karen Blakely, who will do our contemplative meditation, and then Reverend Angelica will follow. Karen, I will not abandon the lectern. I will wait for you to show up. You were like in Toastmasters, weren't you?
No, I never did Toastmasters.
Oh, okay.
I went right to Speakers
There you go.
Association.
All right. So for our reading this morning, I have a short section from something called For the Love of Community. Our opportunity is to see ourselves as part of the one human family and community. Our opportunity is to see ourselves as part of the one human family. In community, tremendous creativity happens. We see things created that no one of us could have created alone. We sometimes think that we have too little, feeling scarcity in our lives. We forget that we are not alone, that there is a vast reservoir of God's life, of substance. In this community, we all add love, humor, insights, wisdom, creativity, and passion. We all have arms to wrap around each other. We all have something to contribute. And it's as we give that we are energized, allowing a divine circulation to flow through our lives, our hearts, and our family. Please take this into contemplation.
Spirit unfolds me, tenderly holds me. Spirit and I are one, walking together now and forever. Spirit and I. I am the light and I am the source. I live in integrity. I am the love and love is the way. Spirit and I.
that we turn to prayer for our beloved service this morning, knowing that God is all that there is. That God is that one presence, that one power, that love, that light, that joy. Oh, I call it good. I call it God. And I know that it burns bright within each one of us because we are what it is. Each one of us, a tiny drop of God, and God in each and every perfect tiny drop. And it is in this place of knowing that I simply speak a word for this service and for this beloved community this morning. Knowing and affirming that love goes before us and prepares the way. That the love of this beloved ornament exchange that happened this weekend permeates every wall, every space, every part of this building. That it spills out, that joy and that love is just this contagious, infectious experience. And it is one that each one of us wants to catch. For this is God in action. And we are that. And what a joy it is to know and affirm that we are that light, that love. And so I just know that this fills us today and every day as we walk into this holiday season. I call it good and so very good. And so it is. And now it is my joy to welcome Reverend Angelica.
I am the light and I am the source. I live in integrity. I am the love and I am the way. Spirit and I are one.
Thank you, Jackson.
Our beloved almost reverend. I can't speak with this on, so I'm going to take it off. Some of you might know that this past week I've had the experience of having a cold, which I haven't had a cold in God knows how many years, and it was very interesting. Very interesting. So this month, December, as Scott mentioned, the theme is community. And I love community. I absolutely, it seems like no matter what I do, when I was thinking about this last night, no matter how old I was or what I did, I always seemed to create a community around me. I used to say, I just like doing things in groups, but now I know what I'm doing is creating community around me. Dr. Holmes says that the science of mind brings people into wholeness. And this is what our community does. So wholeness is both an individual experience and a collective experience. And I know that in order for us to work on the collective, we first have to work on the individual. So this idea of community is really about experiencing the collective idea of oneness. Oneness. I mean, if we really looked at life maybe from a quantum view, you would see that there are not individual people sitting here. There's just a whole lot of energy. And we think that this is divine energy. Divine energy is making up everything, the inanimate and the animate objects in this room, and indeed this room. So creating in community this idea of all this energy coming together to create community, to create an inviting space for each one of us to do our own work. As they say, as we've said in our faith tradition, we're creating a world that works for everyone. That's what we're working on doing. And it's not going to look the same. It's going to look different because we're all unique emanations of this one divine energy. So we have the opportunity then to bring our unique gifts into this idea of community, and we're all doing it. I mean, when I was listening to Scott talking about the giveaway, which I didn't get to be at because I didn't want to make myself overworked and then not be able to speak on Sunday. But I missed being in the energy that's created by that. You know, we had, a few years ago, we had our first decoration giveaway. Then last year, we had a clothing giveaway. So every year, we were working on having a giveaway. But I know that the decoration one, it must be something about the holiday spirit that's in there that makes it the best one. You know, and each time we do this, it's the best one ever. So here's a story that I'm sure that you've all heard before. Let's just say a mysterious stranger comes to town and he claims that he has this magic stone that can make soup over and over and over again. And of course, the community has gathered in the town square, and they're all kind of, yeah, like, right, sure. A stone can make soup for all of us, sure. But he says, let me show you. So they bring him a pot, and he puts the stone in the pot, and the water starts boiling, and he's going, oh, it's working, it's working, it's working. Then he goes, you know what we need? We need a couple of spices. And somebody goes, oh, I have some of those, and they run off to their house, and they bring back some spices. And so then the smell of this water with spices starts going through the crowd, and, you know, after a while he goes, you know what we need? We need maybe some potatoes. And somebody goes, oh, I have some potatoes, and they run off and get them and bring them back, and the potatoes go into the soup. And the same thing happens with some other vegetables. And the soup is starting to smell even better and better and better. And towards the end of the cooking, he says to the group, well, you know, if we just had a little bit of meat and some flour, that would just make it perfect. And so, of course, somebody has that, and they run off and get it and bring it back, and they all end up drinking or eating this, what is called magical soup. But the interesting thing about that story is that soup, that magical soup, was made by not just one person with a stone. It was made by many people. And absolutely everything that we experience that we really get a lot out of is usually because of other people. We like being in community. And you know, I think that we're all hungry a little bit for community. I think that's why people join centers. You know, they find one that works for them, and then they join it, because then they can be in community. They can be around like-minded people. They can make new friends, have new experiences. But sometimes we think we don't have enough to offer that community. And so we stand back and we prevent ourselves from having the experience because, well, I don't have enough, so I'll be rejected, right? So we stand back and we don't allow ourselves to have an experience. And yet, every single person has somebody to bring to the table, something to bring to the table. I happen to love what I do. And so this is what I bring to the table. I also really love animals. And so I have lots of people who use me to take care of their animals while they're on vacation. And I get to pet all kinds of dogs and cats and other things without owning them, which is perfect, because I used to bring them home. In my first marriage, my husband used to say, remember, no more animals. Oh, but this hamster, it was going to get taken to the Humane Society. What could I do? Do you know, I've had some really interesting animals as well. Because before I was even married, I lived in Hollywood. And I had, right down the street was an exotic pet store. Danger, danger. However, I volunteered for them to help them clean the cages and do all the things so I could be around all these southern penguins and various different animals. And at one point they had a capybara. Does anybody know what a capybara is? It's the world's largest rodent. It can get as big as a Labrador. It has very wiry hair. They live in South America. Well, the owner of this pet store got this animal in, and it started getting sick. And so I said, let me take it home. Let me see what I could do. And I've always been one that looks up everything. Another one of my gifts is to be able to, now I can use my phone. Oh, let me look that up for you, right? I can look up anything. So I looked up a capybara, and the first thing it says is that they live in water. This animal had been in a cage with no water except to drink. And they could not defecate without being in water. So I went and bought a baby pool and put it up in my backyard, and experienced this wonderful little guy, got him all healthy, and then they sold him. But I had a whole list of this is how you have to treat this animal, right? Now, what does that have to do with community? It doesn't, except for the fact that everybody has gifts. You probably have gifts that you don't tell anybody that you share, that you use, because maybe you're embarrassed about them. Who knows? I mean, I used to be embarrassed about bringing home every animal that was in the neighborhood, but not anymore. I don't bring them anymore. So we all have ingredients to contribute as we live our lives and recreate facets of our various experiences. In our spiritual community, those ingredients could be love, humor, insights, wisdom, creativity, passion. And we put these ingredients into this soup called the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living. And do you know what happens? I don't know about the new people today, but various other new people have told us as they've left that this is a warm and inviting place to be. Even Dr. Scott Sattler, the late Dr. Scott Sattler, who is a Sufi master, came to me after the second time he spoke here and said, I don't know what you've done here, but it's wonderful. And I said, I haven't done anything. I'm just doing my job. I'm doing my vocation. And he says, you don't know what you've done. And started telling me about how warm and wonderful and, loving this everybody was. And I looked around and I thought, well, yeah, you sort of attract what you are, right? That was supposed to be funny. So we each bring our own ingredients to the soup. Now, I'm going to share with you a couple of ideas here. When we think of this idea, the talk title is Longing to Belong. When I was a little girl, I was adopted. And adopted into a family that didn't really want me, and I've told people this story before, but I never felt like I belonged. At school, I never felt like I belonged. I always felt like I was sitting on the outside watching. And even as a little kid, I thought, oh, that's what one of my gifts is. I'm a watcher. I'm an observer. And then I did something weird at school, because I was always doing things weird because I wanted attention. And I got taken out of public school and put in Catholic school, a girls' finishing school. I wasn't Catholic. And so again, I felt like I didn't belong. I wasn't Catholic, and after a year or so of living there and experiencing the Catholic Church, and I loved it, all the pomp and circumstance, didn't understand a word, but it was still something, the energy of the devotion was there. And so I went home for the summer, and I came back the next year, and I told everybody I had been baptized a Catholic. And now I belonged. Was I baptized? No. I lied about it. But because I wanted to belong so badly. We all have that longing to belong. What I know is that as we realize who we really are, that sense of longing goes away. And we realize that no matter where we are, we belong there. You sitting in your chairs right now, you belong there. No matter what you're doing in your life, you belong there. The Spirit in you is radiating through you. And it's this idea of belonging to community, taking that spiritual life into a community, and maybe you don't even know that what you're longing for is spiritual life, but bringing into communion with others is actualizing our idea of who we really are in truth. And again, I'm going to tell us, which we talk about this every single week and in classes and everything, all there is God, or all there is this divine energy, if you don't like the word God. All there is the force, if you're not into religion. All there is this oneness. It's absolutely all that there is. And so we come into this experience so that the one can experience itself as us. For me, the one loved experiencing itself as a wild child, as a pet collector, as someone that had a spiritual revelation, sitting on the toilet, by the way. As someone who started studying and went, yeah, I belong here. This is what my gift is. So in this idea of what those who might still be having a little fear of rejection, or what if I don't really belong here, Dr. Holmes said, what would happen if we could convert the energy of fear to faith? The energy of doubt and uncertainty into a feeling of belonging to the universe and be safe in it. Would not the original artist itself go forth into new creation through us, through and as us? And that original artist is capitalized, so you know that Dr. Holmes was talking about spirit or God. That's from Living the Science of Mind. Another book by a dear friend of mine, minister friend of mine, who's retired and now living in France, having a wonderful life. I thought, wow, that's really, I mean, he's following his dream, him and his wife, and I thought, this is so amazing. It always is interesting me when a minister retires, because I can't imagine retiring. But to move out of the country and go to France and start, doing things. But he wrote this book called The Beloved Community, which is really good. And he says, when we come into community, we are recognizing the soul's call to commune with others and actualizing more of our potential to love and to be of deep service to creation. So you guys probably didn't know that when you walked into this center that what you were really doing is offering yourself in service. And service looks like a lot of different things. It could be helping with a fundraiser or a fundraiser. It could be doing various things around the center. But it's also walking out, as you're walking out the door, smiling at somebody. And you've got to learn how to smile with your eyes now that we're all wearing masks. But walking out or noticing something about someone that is beautiful and mentioning it to them, that's being of service to them. So wherever you are right now, you belong. You belong here. You belong in the life that you have outside of here. The universe is learning more about itself or experiencing more of itself as you, through you, all the time. And this is what you need to remember. Right now, you belong and you are safe in the universe. There's a lot of stuff that's constantly trying to grab our attention and tell us you're not enough, you're not young enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not handsome enough, you're not rich enough, you're not the right political party. Things, the world is constantly trying to grab at us. And it wants attention. And I don't remember the actual words of a meme that I've used before, but in this meme, the visualization that I got was, when you feel that way, you put your hands on your heart, and you remember that this is who you are. You're here. You've been called here to live in this particular time, this particular dimension, with love, as much as you possibly can. And maybe you might even want to try that right now. Put your hand on your heart and close your eyes. And if you can, feel the beating of your heart. Maybe what it's beating is, I belong, I belong, I belong. And allow yourself to really feel that you belong right where you are in this life, at this time, in this space. And the universe is supporting you in being alive right now. The universe is supporting you, in fact, encouraging you to experience your gifts as you share them out in the world. The universe is applauding you for being in a spiritual community, learning the truth about yourself and about all others. So you've been called to be here at this time. Simply being you is enough. Take a deep breath. And let's see the affirmation for today. Susan has written these affirmations for this month. Let's say this together and then we'll go into treatment. Today I recognize that my spiritual community is not just my immediate family and friends, but all of creation. I open myself to accept and honor every manifestation of life. Knowing we are all one, I grace every life with my love and acknowledgement. Gratefully I acknowledge this one powerful presence. And as Dr. Holmes used to say in the beginning of every radio show, every service that he did, there is a power for good in the universe that is greater than you are, and you can use it. And I know this is true because I know that it is not only there for us to use, but there is no separation anywhere at all. There is only this oneness. So this oneness is living this life in us, as us, through us. And so we celebrate this with every fiber of our being, remembering that we are in a community of spirit. And we're always in that community. If we're walking down the street, we're in that community because everything is spirit. There is nothing that is not spirit. So I know for each one of us that if there's been any vestiges of not belonging, we've now let them go. They no longer serve us in any way whatsoever. So we remember that we belong just by right of the fact that we're here. We belong in love, in light, in joy, in power, in all things that are necessary for our highest good and for everyone's highest good. We are here not only to be loved, which the divine loves us more than you could ever imagine, but to be loving out in our world. And so we let ourselves step into that vocation, so to speak, of being the lover, loving everything in our experience. No matter what experiences we have in the physical world, love always shines through. So how grateful we are to be in a community of spirits that are beginning to understand this idea that all there is God, and this is who we are. Even Jesus said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. So I know for each one of us this week, as we go through the busyness of the holiday season, that we allow ourselves to stop and remember that this season is about love and light. It's not so much about shopping and cleaning the house and doing all of that busy stuff, though those things have to be done because this is where we live. But it's about being the light and being the lover. And so I know each one of us have an opportunity this week to experience that, to experience ourselves being that, and how delightful it feels, how wonderful it is to know that we're doing Spirit's work. This is our vocation. So with a grateful heart, I release these words into divine law, knowing that they are already so. And with great love, we all say, and so it is. So now we get to love our musician this morning, Donna Landry. Well, what happened to that?
I changed my name.
Somehow I didn't change the slide.
Well, we are in alignment because I too had had a cold all this week, and I'm all better.
Me too.
So during my song, in the event, the note doesn't come out, please imagine it for me. I love what you said, Karen, in your meditation, and I'm a firm believer in community, and I love the theme for this month. Jackson? As you walk down the road, heavy burden, heavy load, I will rise, I will walk with you, I will walk with you, where the sun don't shine, I will walk with you, to the end of the line, I will walk with you. If from our path we seem to stray, and we seek a different way, I will rise and I will walk with you. I will walk with you till the sun shines. I will walk with you until your strength you find. I'll walk with you. Every day becomes more clear, moving closer and ever near. Express your heart, express your soul. A spirit walks as you, in peace you will go. A spirit walks as you, in your heart you will know. Spirit walks as you. I will walk with you, walk with you. I will walk with you until your strength you find. I will walk with you until your light shines. I will walk with you till you know. I will walk with you. Bridge. I will walk with you until the sun shines. I will walk with you till the end of the line. I will walk with you. I will walk with you.
Thank you, Donna. That's a wonderful feeling, knowing that you'll walk with us. You got a tip, hey! Cool! I didn't know we should put a jar out there, I guess. All right, so now is the time for us to think about the offering that we'll be wanting to make today. So allow yourself to hold it to your heart or in your hands. Let's say this affirmation blessing together. I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses this center, all in it and beyond, and so it is. And as the plates are going around, our musicians are going to play something. To that one powerful presence, the source of all that there is. We're so grateful that we get to participate in this wonderful river of circulation. We're so grateful that we get to be great receivers and great and joyful givers. And I know the center is blessed by everything that we offer. And everything that we do as the center is blessed because of everything that we offer. So we're grateful, grateful, grateful. And so it is. And those of you that are mailing checks or need to know other ways to give, there is a slide that has all the information on it, which is great. Or you can go to the website and that information will be there as well. I want to say hi to the Eureka people. Sorry, I'm not, everybody's waving at you, by the way, Eureka. I'm sorry I'm not going to be coming down this month, but I'm not, so we'll see you in January. for a brand new year. Boy, it's hard to believe it's December. All of a sudden that struck me, my goodness. What's the next slide? I forget. All right, who wants to say our communities? Okay, Burl. Thank you. Oh, are those lights on? Yeah. Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
Can you see it?
No, but that's okay.
You can make it a little bit bigger.
Oh, that's good. Before I start that, I just want to say, underline again, what we did yesterday was so fantastic. It was the best high I've had in a long time. All we need is love.
What was that again?
All we need is love.
Oh, so that's the theme?
No, that's our theme song.
All right, cool. Well, we'll remember that.
Anyway, okay, the Eureka and Ukiah Centers for Spiritual Living are communities that celebrate diversity, foster inclusion, champion inner work, and create space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are communities that honor the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocate with people for human rights and dignity for all. We are communities that bless each other, see sacredness in all life, remain learners and listeners as we may grow together, and understand that oneness is not sameness. We know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well.
Yes. Thank you. All right, let's stand up and sing our peace song. Acknowledge our practitioners this morning. There's quite a few of them. Those of you who are practitioners, raise your hands. Okay, cool. These people have dedicated themselves to working with you if you need help with anything. And we not only do we have 5-minute miracles on Sunday or 2-minute miracles, whatever. You can meet with somebody on Sunday right after the service, or you could hire one of them to work with you, or we have a treatment line on our telephone that if you look at the website, you can see the number, and there's a treatment that you could get immediately. I happen to have done it, so And I, too, am a practitioner. So I just want you to acknowledge, just remember you have that service with you, because I know sometimes during the holidays and being with parents and you could get a little stressed. And it's a good time to let a practitioner handle that for you. Amen. Through prayer. Thank you for being here this morning.